Let's talk toothpaste. I'm talking DIY toothpaste that doesn't clog your drains, tastes good, and doesn't have a bunch of weird ingredients in it. My name is Lauren, this is Ridian, and you're at Harkins Haven, and we're going to make some homemade toothpaste today. So when my older son Blaine started brushing his teeth, or sucking on a toothbrush at least, I wanted a toothpaste that I could feel confident giving him to brush his teeth with that didn't have a bunch of junk in it, because he was actually swallowing too much of it, as children do. He's 2. So I started with several different recipes I found, most of which contain coconut oil. Now, if you've tried one of those recipes, you're internally cringing, because coconut oil clogs your drains like insane. It's crazy how fast it clogged our drain. My husband was rolling his eyes at me because we clogged our drain. He was drainoing our sinks 2 or 3 times a week. It was ridiculous. So we stopped using that recipe and decided to find a different one. So we're going to talk ingredients. 4 ingredients in this recipe. The first of which is calcium carbonate, which is a really fancy way of saying baking soda. I actually buy it as calcium carbonate because I can get it in bulk from Azure. It's very inexpensive, and it's a little bit more powdery and a little less granular than what you might use in your kitchen. The other ingredient is xylitol, which is a really fancy, mostly healthy sweetener. I also get this from Azure. I can link these both down below, but xylitol is a sweetener that's actually abrasive, so it's good for scrubbing your teeth as well. The other ingredient is water, and I just need a tad bit. That's why it's in this tiny jar. And an essential oil of your choice. My family likes spearmint just because it's sort of what they were used to with traditional toothpaste. I have tried a couple other flavors. This is your choice as long as it is something you're comfortable putting inside your mouth and with your toddler swallowing if you have one of those. So let's get started. I keep mine in an empty mason jar with I like a 1-piece lid just because it makes my husband less frustrated when he brushes his teeth in the morning. It's just whatever you have. So calcium carbonate, 1/4 cup. Now this is not going to make a whole ton of toothpaste. I have tried doubling the recipe, and we have found that it just doesn't work very well, because as the water evaporates out of this recipe, it gets a lot harder, and we don't like it as much. So it's so easy that I just make it more often. And by more often, I'm talking once every few weeks. It's not even like a big deal. And then 2 tablespoons of xylitol. You can adjust this a little bit on your own taste buds. You can adjust the xylitol a little bit based on your own preferences and how sweet you like your toothpaste. It doesn't really taste sweet, but still, play around with it if you don't like it exactly. About 10 drops or so of your essential oil. Once again, that is also to taste. If you like stronger or less strong. This is purely for flavor. It's not a whole ton about cleaning power, so adjust that as you want. And then a little bit, and I do mean a little bit of water. Just doop it in there and stir really good before you add more, because it takes way less water than you think. If you put too much water in, the water will actually start to rise to the top and make your whole toothpaste really, really liquidy. And you'll try to evaporate the water off by leaving the top open, and you'll end up with concrete sludge in the bottom. That's personal experience speaking. Even if you get it too soupy, don't leave the top off of it to evaporate it. Just stir it in the morning. So now we've stirred this real good. It's an extremely thick paste. That's what you want. You want it to be a little thicker than you might actually want to use it, because as it sits waiting for your toothbrush tonight, it will get a little bit soupier as it absorbs in all that water. So make it a little bit drier than you really want it. You can always add more water later if you get to the brushing your teeth part and you don't like it. And then what we do is I have a little plastic baby spoon from one of the kiddos that I just keep in my toothbrush holder, and I just scoop out a little bit, stick it on my toothbrush, and go about my way. There, my friends, is your very own DIY toothpaste. It took me less than 5 minutes to make. I'll do this maybe about once a month and have great success. Tastes great, just like Minty toothpaste. My family doesn't even mind. And Blaine will ask to brush his teeth 4 times just so he can eat toothpaste, which we do try to discourage, by the way. So, we hope to see you next time here on Harkins Haven. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And while you're waiting on our next video, here's a couple old ones that you might like. See you next time.